You're listening to the Quint's podcast.
13 April 1919. The unspeakable horrors of Jallianwala Bagh on that day still resonate with those who visit the walled city of Amritsar and the site. On that horrific day, thousands of innocent civilians, without warning, were gunned down at the orders of Brigadier-General Dwyer, where a platoon of soldiers surrounded the Bagh and fired on those peacefully protesting. Over the past 100 years, everything from books, TV shows, and movies have tried to capture the scale of the tragedy which took place. And the most recent attempt, which has been lauded by critics and audience reviews, is the new movie Sardar Udham, which captures the unrelenting journey of freedom fighter Udham Singh to avenge the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Directed by Shoojit Sircar, Sardar Udham navigates the life of Udham Singh from his time in prison in India to his journey to London and eventually his motives to assassinate Sir Michael O'Dwyer. The film has received rave reviews for actor Vicky Kaushal's performance as Udham Singh and also for, according to one movie review, separating nationalism from jingoism. In this special episode of the Big Story podcast, the Quint spoke to Shoojit Sircar, the director of the film, on what led him to making the film, what parts of the film were fictionalized, and his intentions behind certain depictions in the film. This, of course, goes without saying that this episode contains a few spoilers for the movie. You're tuned in to The Big Story, the podcast where we dissect the headline-making news for you, and I'm your host, Himmat. One of the big reasons for why this film gained so much traction since its release is because it doesn't take the traditional chronological style of most biopics, where the trigger of the protagonist is first shown and then their journey. This film adopts a non-linear narrative and crisscrosses between different timelines in Udham Singh's life. What also separates this movie from other homegrown movies on India's freedom struggle is that it does not dramatize events and fill it with patriotic and nationalist dialogue. For instance, throughout the movie, we see Udham Singh being brutally interrogated by police officials, but he remains muted all throughout the torture. In fact, in one scene in the movie, the character states that he does not have any hatred towards the British people, but for the British government. According to Sircar, this kind of film narrative was adopted so that the viewer can explore the character's life throughout the film and understand the struggle behind the moment.
Even when I was researching and studying about him, so I also found some facts about him very fragmented. So they were also not very in a very what you call in a chronological order. So they were all, I was getting certain information about him. So there is quite a less information about him, apart from the hanging and his assassination. Rest all are, the people know about it, but there is a lot of myth also around it. So I think it was quite simple. The way we are trying to find the character, we will start finding him in the film also the similar way. So I think that's why whatever information came in and went back and investigation. So I think that was so anyway, the Shubhendu structure was quite set that, we will do we will go for investigative. And I was also sure that Shubhendu, we will go for an investigative because we also in the film should explore him, who he was. So if you see, the film does not completely open him about what he was. We don't know. There's mystery. You will have to understand. You will have to, contemplate yourself what you understand about him or about his revolutionary thoughts.
Sircar adds that what was different about Udham Singh was that he was not the typical revolutionary and was not a quote-unquote killer, but instead tried to voice his opinions as well and also protest in the right way.
I don't think he was all the time thinking about revenge because he was not a killing machine. No, he was not the one who was and I've clearly spoken it out. I wanted to speak it out through Swain, that inspector, that you are not a killer.
Right.
You not a killer, but it's not that the revolutionaries have all the time they have guns and nothing else. It was speaking the right thing, protests, and voicing the right thing. So I think that was more really fascinating for them. And I think that speech that he does, that free speech, I think that I wanted specially, and I kept it. I told Ritesh, I'm surely going to have that because that's the only place I'll know who he is. And also he will speak his heart out there. That's what he does.
The film, as the title suggests, revolves around how Udham Singh avenged the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. But for many of us who have studied Indian history in school, Singh is not a freedom fighter reflected in our history books. Udham Singh was born in the Sangur district of Punjab, and his parents died when he was very young. Very little is known about his early life, but what historical accounts do tell us that he was jailed for possessing guns, and this is what brought him in contact with freedom fighter Bhagat Singh. And according to Sircar, it was while researching for a movie based on India's freedom struggle and on Bhagat Singh that he came across the name Udham Singh and learned more about him.
I actually wanted to make a film on Bhagat Singh for long back. So I came here to make a film actually on Bhagat Singh, and also connecting it to Jallianwala Bagh. So that's how it is. And while doing it, I started exploring Sardar Udham. And then when exactly did it click that I want to make a film on Sardar Udham? I don't remember. It's been long years, but I've been with this person and this journey of this Sardar Udham and Bhagat Singh and the entire Punjab freedom movement. So I've been reading a lot about them, so about that era and what happened, what went behind. So I think, yeah, and then I think Shubhendu, my friend writer, he said we should not be confused and make many things. Just let's concentrate on the Sardar Udham. So that's how I think it's boiled down to.
Like most period films, there is a certain level of fiction which goes into the script. And since there was so little to know about Udham Singh's life, the question which pops up in any biopic is what sections of the film were fictionalized. In the later half of the film, Udham Singh is shown as an employee working for Michael Dwyer, driving him around London and even going hunting with him. However, some historians have contended this fact and state that the two never shared this kind of relation. Sircar accepts that though the relation is a point of contention among many historians and experts, it was used as a device to show the quote-unquote colonial mindset of Dwyer and what eventually may have led Udham Singh assassinate him on 13 March 1940.
So in certain facts, it is believed that he was chasing him quite closely. Did he actually work for him or not? I mean, still we don't know, right? Their family said no, he never worked, but some people said no, he was interacting with him at some certain point, in quite a close range. Then we took, I think it was, and also we wanted to understand the the imperialistic system, how it works, and we didn't have a device. So for us, the only device was Michael O'Dwyer. What was his thinking? How does an colonial imperialistic white supremacy, how do they think about this brown world, the brown people, how do they want to rule the colonial, the mindset. So we used this device of Michael O'Dwyer because some of the Michael O'Dwyer's book is there also. India as I Knew, there's a book where he has written a lot of things, and he was absolutely anti-Gandhi also and anti-rebels, and he actually supplied and got people from Indian villages for World War One also, and World War Two also. I think he helped. No, not World War Two, World War One. So I think all that was real facts. So we thought, let us use him as a device and a metaphor to understand how an imperialistic mind works.
Now, one of the main scenes in the film, which runs for 15 minutes, is the depiction of the Jallianwala Bagh massacre itself. In the movie, Udham Singh is shown carrying and transporting those injured to aid and out of the Bagh tirelessly throughout the movie. According to Sircar, he used the statements of survivors to try and stitch what exactly happened.
For Jallianwala, yes, we have certain materials like paintings, people are standing on the wall. We don't know that incident, how, what exactly went there. So there are only survivors who gave statements. There is a commission inquiry. Those statements are still there. Those were very important facts for me to stitch the entire Jallianwala, what exactly must have happened there. The only reference point was Richard Attenborough's Gandhi, which had a sequence of Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Yeah. So I think people hear whatever visual they know, it's Richard Attenborough's Gandhi. And that's completely embedded in me also. When I first saw that, I was completely devastated. If you see in this film, in the trailer, it's the similar shot that Richard Attenborough had taken, that the car is coming, there is a machine gun, and there are soldiers behind. So I have tried to replicate that same shot because that's the only reference point I have.
When asked on why the scene was stretched so long, Sircar said that he wanted to give justice to what Udham Singh felt that day and the tragedy.
Yes, many people have been told that many people uh, thought that the film should have a shorter length. I understand that. But I felt, especially the end section, the Jallianwala section. But I think I needed that personally to to feel it. So that's why I kept it. There was no debate on. There was debates from my team also, but I was absolutely adamant there.
The film was also considered as the official entry by India for the 2022 Oscars, but a Tamil film named Kuzhangal was picked over it. Indrajit Dasgupta, who is on the selection panel for India's Oscar entry, in an interview with the Times of India, stated that, quote-unquote, though Sardar Udham is a well-made production, in this era of globalization, it is not fair to hold on to this hatred. Reacting to this statement, Sircar said that he trusts the jury's decision and that for an international audience, it will be difficult to relate to the tragedy and the history of colonialism in India.
I'm nobody to question him on that. I mean, it's absolutely his views. But in terms of the Oscar, what you are suggesting in terms of the panel, I think we definitely trust them. The jury, I think they must have found something really, really powerful about the Tamil film. I've seen the trailer also. It's really, really inspiring. And also for the international audience, I think it will be a little difficult to understand Sardar Udham, because also fact is that they don't know the history of our 200 years of colonial world at all. They don't know who's Bhagat Singh is. They don't know about the HSRM movement. They don't know what's the Punjab they were. They know about the particular section of the Indian independence. Like if I show you a film on World War II with just the Nazi batch, you will know the politics of it, because you know what's there, in terms of who was Nazi, who was Hitler, everything. But in our thing, in our world, our history, they are completely unaware of. So it would have been very difficult for them to process that why this is lengthy, why this has been, the director is possibly indulging in this sequence. So I think we can still get it, but for them it will be very difficult to get. This is my understanding. I can purely. So I think what the jury must have thought and chosen. I think, and I appreciate that. And I think, and I'm with them absolutely with it.
If you like listening to this podcast, you can also catch a video version of this interview on the Quint's website and YouTube handle. You can also find a link to the Quint's review of the movie in our show notes. If you liked listening to this episode, please subscribe to The Big Story for episodic updates. We're available on Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, JioSaavn, and most of the other popular podcast streaming platforms. For other podcasts, please log on to the Quint website, and for any feedback, please shoot an email to podcast@thequint.com.
Thanks for listening. Log on to the Quint's website and check out our other podcasts.